Good morning to all the participants and my colleagues from Solution Buggy.
Yeah, good morning.
Hope my audio is clear to everyone. I see few chats where they have messaged that voice is not coming. Hope my voice is clear now to all. Great. So I think I'm getting a response that audio is clear. Rakesh, kindly put this presentation into PPT mode.
Yeah, sure.
Hope the presentation is also visible to all. We will start with just a brief introduction. Myself, I am Nitin, working as a lead project manager in Solution Buggy from past 4 years, and I am handling the complete turnkey projects or end-to-end projects in Solution Buggy with respect to sectors like food, beverages, nutraceuticals, FMCG products, and even we also working on biofuels, renewable energy projects. So I'm handling these kind of projects majorly, which are linked with government subsidies and government schemes or grants, whatever the benefits governments are providing. Such kind of projects complete from end to end, starting from licensing till execution. I'm handling those projects in Solution Buggy. So, and unfortunately, Mr. Guru Prasad, our CTO, was not able to join today due to his some emergency meetings with other prior things. So I'll be taking this webinar. I'll be walking through you a complete session of this webinar, explaining about what we are here. Like we as a Solution Buggy, we are conducting this webinar, and this is our routine. We every month we do webinars on the trending topics, on the most lucrative business ideas topics, most benefit product ideas topics, and the knowledge transfer sessions we do. And today we are in the session where we are going to explain you on top food and agro processing schemes, which recently launched from MOFPA in this 2023. Every year, this scheme will be launched from MOFPI, Ministry of Food Processing Industry. Under MOFPI, there is a sub scheme called Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampad Yojana. The name itself states that this scheme is particularly for helping the farmers who are into the cultivation of fruits, vegetables, cereals, pulses, whatever it is. This scheme particularly concentrate on helping those farmers who are growing and who are trying to sell their grown crops to nearest markets or any other industries. This is to support them so that entrepreneurs who are going to set up such food processing units or agro processing units, they can procure the raw materials from the farmers, the nearby farmers. So that is the reason the government is supporting entrepreneurs to start or open your own food processing units or even the agro processing clusters in the areas where this cultivation is happening. Mutually, it will help not only the farmers, it will help to the entrepreneurs also, where they can get the raw materials in the nearby premises. Logistics will be very less, and that will help them in very good profit margins and other things. Costing can be worked out. The project will be very feasible if the raw material is available in and around 100 or 50 to 100 kilometers premises. So that is where we are. Uh, so Rakesh, we can start with the slide 2. I'll try to explain both in Hindi and as well as in English. Maybe we have participants who are convenient in Hindi also. We have seen in recent webinars also. मैं कोशिश करता हूँ आपको थोड़ा हिंदी में भी explain करके डिटेल में आपको जानकारी देने के लिए रिगार्डिंग दिस स्कीम। और ये स्कीम अप्लाई करने के लिए क्या एलिजिबिलिटी होना चाहिए, इसका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन वर्क कैसा होता है, और इसके लिए कितना टाइम है अभी हमें हमारे पास, क्योंकि ये स्कीम ओपन हुआ है लास्ट मंथ 24 को, दिस 24 से नवंबर 20 तक ये खुला रहेगा एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट सबमिशन करने के लिए। इसके बीच में जो भी एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन प्रिपेयर करना है, हमको रेडी करके रखना है और उससे पहले नवंबर 22 से पहले हमें MOFPI का पोर्टल में अप्लाई करना है विथ ऑल द डॉक्यूमेंट्स। वो क्या डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, स्कीम क्या है, वो सब मैं आपको डिटेल्स इस वेबिनार में दे रहा हूँ ताकि आपको समझ में आ सके कि ये स्कीम से बेनिफिट्स कैसा होता है एंड हाउ हम सोल्यूशन में ये आपको कैसे असिस्ट कर सकते हैं इस स्कीम के बेनिफिट्स पाने के लिए। उसके बाद नॉट ओनली द गेटिंग द बेनिफिट, उसके बाद भी आप प्लान सेटअप करने के लिए हाउ सोल्यूशन बिगी कैन सपोर्ट फॉर ऑल द एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, वो एक्सप्लेनेशन हम इधर स्टार्ट करेंगे। सो कंप्लीटली मैंने जैसे बताया, एज आई टोल्ड दिस वेबिनार इज ऑन प्रधानमंत्री किसान संपद योजना 2023। यहाँ पर आई एम concentrating here on two main products or two main sectors in this scheme. One is creation of an agro processing cluster, and second is creation expansion of food processing and preservative capacities. So these two schemes I am very much concentrated here. Among these two also, I am very much concentrated on creation expansion of food processing and preservative capacity scheme, where it is also called as individual unit, setting up of an individual food processing or an agro processing or a beverage or a nutraceutical processing unit. Agro processing cluster, the scheme which is in the topper side, a viable hai. It's not like it is not an viable, but why I'm not stressing more on agro processing cluster is already there are many agro processing clusters established in each and every states and districts. So they are still finding some difficulties. वो मैंने चीजें जो difficulties होता है वो आगे मैं बता देता हूँ, इसलिए मैं एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर का भी थोड़ा जानकारी दे रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, लेकिन ज्यादातर CEFPPC जो सेकेंड वाला स्कीम है उसका बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन में ज्यादा दे रहा हूँ, ताकि उसका बेनिफिट और वायबिलिटी बहुत अच्छा है और इंडिविजुअल फूड प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट, सिंगल यूनिट सेटअप करने के लिए वो स्कीम बहुत बेनिफिट है। तो विल गो टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। Rakesh, can we zoom it or put it in the presentation mode?
Sure, sure.
Is it done?
Yes. उसको बोलो या प्लान करिए।
I'm not able to see. It's still in PPT slides mode. Because whatever information, it should be visible clearly to the participants.
Just allow me 1 minute, Nathan.
So I'll just give a brief. Agro processing cluster. Agro processing cluster मतलब establishing an complete infrastructure और a basically एक छोटा सा फूड पार्क जैसा है। एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर मीन्स जहाँ पर एक फूड प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट के लिए या जहाँ पर फ्रेशली हार्वेस्टेड क्रॉप्स को लेके जब फार्मर्स आता है यहाँ पर एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर को, उसको वहाँ पर कुछ प्राइमरी प्रोसेसिंग या प्री प्रोसेसिंग करने के लिए जो चीज़ें होता है, वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट करके उसके साथ एक इंडिविजुअल यूनिट सेटअप करने के लिए भी एक प्लॉट्स रेडी करके एक ब्यूटीफुल फूड छोटा सा फूड पार्क बनाना एक प्लान होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एन एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर। एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर में बहुत चीजें होता है। व्हेन आई से बेसिक अम्यूनिटीज इज लाइक core and basic infrastructure, we call it as like water treatment plants, warehouses, cold storages. These are the things which comes under agro processing cluster. So before going to agro processing cluster, just I'm giving a brief introduction how food and agro processing is growing in India. So India is contributing almost 75% of sales in food and agro processing, and we are the sixth largest retail contribution in terms of the food market. And if you see the post harvesting ratios and all, food grains we have 4 to 6% of major crops, and then fruit 7 to 16%, we have vegetables 5 to 13%, and milk and non-veg. These are the major things we are very strong in. So our agriculture geography is very huge, and whatever the cultivation we are doing, that is also on very higher side, where we have that capacity to serve the purpose for pan India level PB, we can serve whatever the food grains we grow, and we have surplus where we can export it to other countries who are having a good demand of our products, where we can sell our few value added products or converted products to the neighboring countries, such as we have seen already the players who has expanded their factories in the Middle East zone, European market, American market. So all over the globe, we are there now in the market. So that is the strongest part of food and agro in India. Next slide. So now coming to agro processing cluster, what exactly this agro processing cluster is? A company or an entrepreneur or a promoter who want to set up a agro processing cluster, he should see first that location, which location is viable for my cluster. How this location is identified? By seeing what all the cultivation raw materials happening, or cultivation happening in the surroundings. Consider one district. I consider a district in Sangli in Maharashtra. So in Sangli, I want to set up agro processing cluster. Means in Sangli, what all the crops are available? How many? Which are the major crops? Is the fruits are the major crops, or the vegetables, or the cereals and pulses? While looking at this, then we have to decide. Okay, setting up an agro processing cluster in this locality will help me also in getting a good raw material resources from the surrounding premises, and also as per the government initiative, as per the government support, it will also help the farmers that they can come and sell their crops directly to my facility, because they don't have to run for long distances. So that is the motive. As a company, someone want to set up agro processing cluster, means the primary task for an entrepreneur or a promoter or a director is to see which can be the viable location. Location feasibility is the first part. Then agro processing cluster, if you set up, it is, as I told, it is a food park. Means one food park, under that there will be small individual unit. A company as a part of agro processing cluster, they it's themselves can set up 7 to 10 different units inside them, which will create huge employment in the local population. Both skilled and unskilled employments will be created. That is another major initiative or a major motive of the government. Not only to the farmers, it will also create employment in the local areas, both skilled and unskilled employment. So that is where they support for setting up of these agro processing clusters. Then the entrepreneur who set up, they will provide all the core processing and basic processing infrastructures. I'll come to the next slide where I'll explain what is those core and basic infrastructures. So then the company provides facility to set up different food processing unit plots. जैसे कि a agro processing cluster is nothing but I can say layman language में बोल सकता हूँ, you are constructing an apartment. एक apartment आप construct कर रहे हो, apartment में आप plots भी बना रहे हो, flats, each and every flat समझिए कि 25 flats in apartment. उस फ्लैट के लिए जो बेसिक चीजें चाहिए, जो कोर चीजें चाहिए, वो आप रेडी करके, और जो बाहर वाले जो खरीदना चाहते हैं वो फ्लैट, उनको आपको फ्लैट भेज रहे हो, और उसके साथ ये बेसिक चीजें की सपोर्टिव भी दे रहे हो. बेसिक चीजें इन टर्म्स ऑफ अपार्टमेंट, यू आर गिविंग वाटर फैसिलिटी, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फैसिलिटी, maybe in future gas facility when government makes it a single provision of a gas. Then parking facilities. Then you also can provide other fire and safety conditions, compound walls, all those things. Like this, agro processing cluster में भी ऐसे ही कुछ facilities होता है, basic facilities और core facilities. वो core facilities and basic facilities जो कंपनी establish करेंगे agro processing cluster, वो लोग उसको ready करके रखेंगे, ताकि जो इंडिविजुअल यूनिट बनाने के लिए बाहर से जो प्रोमोटर्स वहां पर सेटअप लगाते हैं, वो लोग ये बेसिक एंड कोर को इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को यूज करके आपको उसका जो भी रेंटल है, लीज पे है और कन्वर्शन रेशियो में है, वो कॉस्ट दे सके. आपको भी बेनिफिट होगा, आपको भी टर्नओवर में इजी हो जाएगा. पैरेलली उनको भी जो इंडिविजुअल यूनिट सेटअप लगाने के लिए देख रहे हो, उनको ये कोर एंड बेसिक फैसिलिटी का अरेंज करने के लिए जरूरत नहीं होगा. उनको बेनिफिट होगा कि उसका कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट बस उसकी प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट का होगा. तो ये म्यूचुअली बेनिफिटेड प्लान होगा agro processing clusters. Inside that, what all the things can be done? Oh, that is fruits processing units, vegetables, grains, pulses, milk, meat, जो भी है processing units हम लगा सकते हैं agro processing cluster के अंदर. Next slide. सो जैसे मैंने बता रहा था कि बेसिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड कोर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. सो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर बेसिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मीन्स वाटर अरेंजमेंट, रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग, बोरवेल्स, पाइपलाइन अरेंजमेंट, टैंक्स, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, बाउंड्री वॉल्स, सेफ्टी, रोड्स भी होना चाहिए फॉर द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, ड्रेनेज सिस्टम्स, ईटीपी, डब्ल्यूटीपी, वेब ब्रिज। ये सब बेसिक चीजें हैं। एक कंपनी और ए प्रमोटर हु वांट टू सेट अप अग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर, वो दे हैव टू एस्टेब्लिश दिस बेसिक एंड देन द कोर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जैसे कि प्राइमरी प्रोसेसिंग एज आई टोल्ड, क्लीनिंग, सॉर्टिंग, ग्रेडिंग लाइन, फूड टेस्टिंग, एक लैब, छोटा सा लैब जहाँ पर सब आके आपकी लैब का असिस्टेंस लेके टेस्टिंग करने के लिए, एक बॉयलर भी, एक सिंगल बॉयलर कैन सप्लाई टू ऑल द इंडिविजुअल यूनिट्स। देन कोल्ड स्टोरेज और फ्रोजन स्टोरेज, इसका भी यूटिलाइजेशन हो जाएंगे। कूलिंग चेम्बर्स, राइपनिंग चेम्बर्स, वेयर हाउसेस, ग्राइंड साइलोस स्टोरेजिंग के लिए, अगर पैकिंग का फैसिलिटी चाहिए, फाइनल पैकेजिंग का, पैकेजिंग इक्विपमेंट्स, मटेरियल हैंडलिंग इक्विपमेंट तो एवरीवेयर इट इज यूज्ड, सो दैट वन, फ्रीजर्स, आईक्यूएफ एंड ट्रक्स भी आप लीज या एज पर दी ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ऑफ ट्रक्स भी रख के आपको आप सबको असिस्ट कर सकते हैं। So these are the things where a company who want to set up an agro processing cluster, so they have to establish this basic infrastructure and a core infrastructure. So now coming to like ये सब करने के लिए और ये सब पूरा सेटअप करने के लिए कितना लैंड चाहिए होगा? So minimum we suggest start with 12 to 14 acres land, उससे 20-25 acres तक आप बना सकते हैं जितना आपका बजट के हिसाब से। सो मिनिमम 12 एकर्स आप समझ के पकड़िए कि एक अग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर लगाने के लिए 12 एकर्स में 35 to 40% ये बेसिक और कोर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे कवर हो जाएगा। अनदर 15 to 20% इंटरनल रोड्स पे कवर हो जाता है। बाकी जो बचा हुआ अनदर 30% में आप इंडिविजुअल यूनिट्स बना के, प्लॉट्स बना के वहाँ पर आप प्रोविजन आप ओपन कर सकते हैं कि बाहर का लोग जो भी इस क्लस्टर के अंदर यूनिट लगाने के लिए सोच रहे हो, दे कैन कम, आइदर दे कैन प्रोक्यूर योर लैंड, आइदर दे कैन टेक इट एज अ लीज, अ रेंट बेसिस, and they can set up a unit under your agro processing cluster and they can utilize this basic and core infrastructures. Next slide. स्कीम क्या बोलता है? व्हाट डज स्कीम स्टेट्स फॉर अग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर? ग्रांट असिस्टेंस क्या होता है? सो जैसे मैंने बता रहा था, सो द लास्ट ब्लॉक आप देख सकते हो, एलिजिबल प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट फॉर एन अग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर। एक में मेंशन किया हो 31 करोड़ जनरल कैटेगरी लोग के लिए, दूसरा में मेंशन किया हो 22 करोड़ फॉर एसी/एसटी कैटेगरी एंड अदर्स, नॉर्थ ईस्ट जोन कैटेगरी, ट्राइबल कैटेगरी, उन सब लोगों को 22 CR। So why I am putting 31 crore or why I am putting 22 crore for these two? इसमें डिफरेंस क्यों में इतना क्यों डिफरेंस आ रहा है? ऑलमोस्ट 10 और 9 crore डिफरेंस आ रहे हैं। That is the reason for the difference in project cost is, first thing, सेटिंग अग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर सेटअप करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट से 10 करोड़ तक सब्सिडी या ग्रांट मिलता है फॉर इंडिविजुअल, फॉर ईच एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर। एक क्लस्टर के लिए, एक प्रमोटर के लिए वी कैन अप्लाई फॉर मैक्सिमम 10 करोड़ ऑफ ग्रांट फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट। ये 10 करोड़ मिलता है, इट इज अप्लीकेबल फॉर द टेक्निकल कॉस्ट, मतलब जो बेसिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, कोर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हम बनाता है, जो टेक्निकल कॉस्ट के ऊपर पे 10 करोड़। तो मतलब समझिए कि आप लैंड के बारे में पूछ रहे हो, तो नॉन टेक्निकल सिविल जैसे आपका बाउंड्री वॉल हो गया, ऑफिस बिल्डिंग हो गया, ये सब चीजें ग्रांट के अंदर काउंट नहीं होते हैं। तो द काउंट इज ओनली बेसिक और कोर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जैसे मैंने बता दिया जो कंपोनेंट्स, वो सब करने के लिए आप अगर 31 करोड़ इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो एज ए जनरल कैटेगरी, देन आप एलिजिबल हो 35% ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट के लिए ग्रांट। मतलब 31 करोड़ का 35% आप कन्वर्ट कर दीजिए, ये ऑलमोस्ट 10 करोड़ तक आ जाता है। तो जनरल कैटेगरी के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने 35% ऑफ द टेक्निकल कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट ग्रांट सैंक्शन करने के लिए डिसाइड किया है। सिमिलरली फॉर एस-सी/एस-टी के लिए गवर्नमेंट इज रेडी टू गिव 50% ऑफ टेक्निकल कॉस्ट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट। मतलब यहाँ पर 35% ऑफ 31 करोड़ हमने कैलकुलेट किया तो ऑलमोस्ट 10 करोड़ आ जाएगा। अभी एस-सी/एस-टी के लिए 50%, मतलब 22 करोड़ को 50% आप कर दो, इट विल कम टू 50%, 11 तक आ जाएगा, 10 करोड़ ग्रांट मिल जाता है। तो इसीलिए प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट का डिफरेंस यहाँ पर आ रहा है। इसके हिसाब से कैपेसिटी का भी थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हो जाएगा, बट मैक्सिमम अवेल करने के लिए हम ये जस्ट रफ फिगर डाले कि 31 CR फॉर ए जनरल कैटेगरी एंड 22 CR फॉर एन एस-सी/एस-टी, सो दैट ये प्रोजेक्शन दिखाने से हमें मैक्सिमम 10 करोड़ तक ग्रांट मिलने के लिए चांसेस है। अगर समझिए कि इफ योर प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट इज गॉन बिलो 31 करोड़, 25 करोड़ हो जाएगा, तो आप करोगी 25 करोड़ का 35% कर दो, उसका जो भी आएगा दैट विल बी द ग्रांट। 10 करोड़ से कम आ जाता है। तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन ईच एंड एवरी प्रमोटर, उसको कितना इन्वेस्ट करना है, उसका बजट कितना है, उसका कैपेबिलिटी कितना है, उसके ऊपर ग्रांट का भी डिसाइड होता है। और एक और कंडीशन है, 31 करोड़ में समझिए कि 35%, 10 करोड़ तो ग्रांट में आ जाता है, बाकी 21 करोड़ कहाँ से आएगा? इसमें देन होगा आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट, मिनिमम 20% आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट होना चाहिए, दैट इज द गवर्नमेंट नॉर्म्स, प्लस बैंक लोन सपोर्ट तो लेना ही पड़ेगा, गवर्नमेंट का ये रूल से। अगर आप बैंक लोन नहीं लेने के लिए जा रहे हो तो आप ग्रांट के लिए भी एलिजिबल नहीं हो। ये दो चीजें हैं, आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा 20%, मिनिमम 20%। आपको ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए आपके पास बजट है तो आप ज्यादा भी इन्वेस्टमेंट कर सकते हो, 30% या 40%। बाकी चीजें आप लोन पे ले लो, ताकि जितना आपका लोन का वैल्यू, लोन का अमाउंट कम हो जाएगा, आपका आरओआई रिटर्न्स वो सब कम होते जाएंगे। सो दैट विल बी डिसाइडेड फ्रॉम ईच एंड एवरी प्रमोटर। सो ये मेजर बेसिक क्राइटेरिया है। एक और कैच और एक और कंडीशन गवर्नमेंट ने डाला है कि ये 10 करोड़ आपको चाहिए। 10 करोड़ आप एप्लीकेशन पे आप यू आर प्रोजेक्टिंग और यू आर आस्किंग गवर्नमेंट दैट आई नीड a 10 CR ऑफ ए ग्रांट, कंप्लीट 100% ऑफ 10 CR ऑफ द ग्रांट। देन आपके पास नेटवर्थ, एक गवर्नमेंट के हिसाब से एक कंडीशन है, यू शुड हैव ए नेटवर्थ ऑफ 1.5 टाइम्स, मिनिमम 1.5 टाइम्स ऑफ द 10 CR। मतलब आपका नेटवर्थ वैल्यू, जो भी आपका असेट्स हो, एग्जिस्टिंग बिजनेस का शेयर हो, बिजनेस टर्नओवर हो, एनी बिल्डिंग्स, अदर थिंग्स, वो सब एज पर द गवर्नमेंट सर्कल रेट के हिसाब से आपका नेटवर्थ सर्टिफिकेट आपको सबमिट करना पड़ेगा मिनिस्ट्री को। दैट शुड बी ऑफ मिनिमम 15 करोड़। 15 करोड़ के ऊपर का एक नेटवर्थ सर्टिफिकेट आपकी सीए से बना के आपको गवर्नमेंट को सबमिट करना पड़ेगा। देन ओनली गवर्नमेंट विल allow you or sanction you that you are eligible to avail the 10 crore of grant as per the scheme. So this is what agro processing cluster states. Next slide. So now coming to the second part of this one, और थोड़ा conditions है agro processing clusters का, eligibility criteria का, वो तो common conditions है both CEF, PPC और APC का। मैं लास्ट में वो पूरा explanation देता हूँ, और जो भी एक eligibility marks भी होना चाहिए ये स्कीम अप्लाई करने के लिए, उसका भी जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है, I'll explain that in detail in the coming slide. I'll explain this creation, expansion, food processing, preservation capacity scheme now, because this is where the most of the entrepreneurs are very much interested in, and this is most viable for each and every entrepreneur who is looking for diversification to any F&B or a nutraceuticals or a beverage industry, or who want to set up a new industry. This scheme is very much viable, and I think it will open every year in once for 30 to 45 days. This year it has opened for 45 days, and it is a good opportunity for entrepreneurs to grab these benefits from the government before the deadline ends, and avail the schemes. So next slide. So what is the CEFPPC? Creation, expansion, food processing and preservative capacity. Means MOFPI, earlier what MOFPI put a criteria that if you want to set up an individual unit also, you have to set up inside the food agro processing cluster itself. Then only you will be eligible to avail a grant. In this scheme, the grant amount is 5 crore. So the last point, if you see, the grant in aid is limited to 5 crore rupees. So 35 same percentage, same here, 35% of for a general category, 50% for an others, means SC/ST, tribal, northeast zone, this category. If someone want to show it as an SC/ST and a 50% grant criteria, then you can see the last but one point, SC/ST shareholder or a promoter should have at least 51% of the stake in the company. Then only it is considered as an proposal from the SC/ST promoter. If the promoter doesn't having the 51% of the share, then it will be falls under the general category, 35% category itself. So this scheme earlier, as I was telling, it was a condition from the government that it has to be set it up inside the agro processing cluster, because from the government approval has given for many agro processing cluster in each and every district of every state. So till now, till today, if we search, we will get multiple agro processing clusters. So what a promoter has to do, promoter has to approach that agro processing cluster and ask him, do you have a plot available? Because I'm planning to set up an food processing unit. If you have a plot inside your cluster, I'm setting up there and I will avail the benefit from the scheme. That was the condition earlier from last 2 years. But from last year, government has changed that one, saying that the people are not very much comfortable to go and set up in someone's agro processing cluster land, because many of the people having their own land itself, they are ready to convert that land into industrial use or NA use. So why they have to go and buy another separate land from a promoter who is into the agro processing cluster? Seeing this scenario, government is now made an application open where a promoter can set up individual food processing unit anywhere in the land which he is having. Condition is only that he should convert that agriculture land into an industrial purpose, industrial use land. So getting an NA certification is mandatory from the government for CEFPPC. That is the first criteria. इस पे भी मार्क्स भी काउंट होता है. मैंने मार्क्स के बारे में मैं डिटेल में बोल देता हूँ बाद में. तो समझिए, CEFPPC इंडिविजुअल फूड प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट आपको लगाना है तो फर्स्ट क्राइटेरिया, आपके पास लैंड तो होगा. 90% ऑफ प्रमोटर्स के पास कुछ तो लैंड होगा, एग्रीकल्चर लैंड. लेकिन इस पे क्राइटेरिया ये है कि एग्रीकल्चर लैंड का डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करने से आपको एलिजिबिलिटी नहीं मिलता है. आपको एग्रीकल्चर लैंड को कन्वर्जन, इंडस्ट्रियल यूज कन्वर्जन करने के लिए आपकी लोकल इंडस्ट्रियल डिपार्टमेंट जहाँ पर कन्वर्जन एनए होता है, वहाँ पर आपको अप्लीकेशन डाल के तुरंत कन्वर्जन करके रखना है. देन ओनली आपको एलिजिबल होगा कि आप यहाँ पर प्लांट सेटअप करने के लिए रेडी हो. विदाउट कन्वर्जन खाली हम बस जो भी एग्रीकल्चर लैंड है उसका डॉक्यूमेंट्स हम भेज सकते हैं एक मिनिस्ट्री को, लेकिन वहाँ पर जो मार्क्स क्राइटेरिया है ना, वो पूरा मार्क्स हमें नहीं मिलता है. 60% और 60 मार्क्स हमें स्कोर करना है डॉक्यूमेंट्स के हिसाब से. जैसे लैंड का डॉक्यूमेंट हो गया, नेटवर्थ हो गया, हम क्या प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स बना रहे हो उसका डीपीआर जो डॉक्यूमेंट होता है वो हो गया. उसके साथ और 2-3 डॉक्यूमेंट्स है. अगर आपका बैकग्राउंड है फूड प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्री का, ऑलरेडी आप F&B बिजनेस में हो, वो बैकग्राउंड का कुछ मार्क्स होगा. ये सब मिला के आपको 60 मार्क्स क्रॉस करना पड़ेगा. अगर 60 मार्क्स आप क्रॉस नहीं किया तो आप इनएलिजिबल हो जाता है इस स्कीम के लिए. दैट इज वाई the government has made a strict rules: industrial land conversion, network certificate, and a new company formation, or a group of company, private limited हो, LLP हो, partnership हो, जो भी हो, that you have to make sure. The next slide. तो एलिजिबिलिटी टर्म्स यहाँ पर भी फिर से, सो CEFPPC में एलिजिबिलिटी आइटम्स क्या क्या होता है. टेक्निकल सिविल का जो काम होता है, टेक्निकल सिविल वर्क्स, दोस आर एलिजिबल. व्हेन आई से टेक्निकल सिविल वर्क्स, प्रोसेसिंग करने के लिए जो शेड होता है, दैट वन इज एलिजिबल. पावर हाउस, बॉयलर शेड इज एलिजिबल. एंड स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड अदर थिंग्स, मेजनाइन फ्लोर हम बना रहे थे, ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स, DG सेट, दीस आर एलिजिबल. ETP, WTP, दोस आर लिंक्ड टू आवर प्रोसेसिंग, दैट इज एलिजिबल. Complete plant and machinery, whatever the equipments, machineries, other things we use, those are eligible. And utilities which are linked to our processing, boiler, turbine or generator is linked. ETPWP, as I explained, power. Laboratory is linked to our processing. Storage system is linked. Then cooling towers and compressors. So these are the things which are eligible. Means why I'm telling eligible is the 35% grant what will be given from the government, that is considered on the cost of these eligible items. These are the technical cost which is eligible for the grant. You can see there is no inclusion of land. If you have a land, you say that I have a land of 3 acres and it is worth 50 lakhs, but it is not eligible. It is not considered as a eligible cost here. And if you see, there is no eligibility point for non-technical civil, जैसे boundary walls, office building, admin building, canteens, washrooms. No, those are not eligible for this ministry scheme, CEFPP scheme. So eligible components, you can please concentrate here. These are the technical cost of the project. Next slide. Rakesh, go to next slide. Yeah. Ineligible components. There are many ineligible components. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था जी, land cost. If you are going to procure a new land of 1 crore or 1.5 crore and you say that I want this land to be eligible, no, land cost is not eligible. Land development cost, boundary walls, internal roads, office building, canteen, guest house, security room, and if consultancy services to लेंगे that is not eligible. Service charges, transportations, working capital, furnitures का, CCTV. See, whatever non-technical things comes, these are not considered or not ineligible items for a grant. ये इसका जो भी cost होता है, इसको cost को हम नहीं grant के calculation के लिए हम नहीं ले सकते. So these are the ineligible items for the technical cost of the project. Next slide. यहाँ पर भी so how this grant works in CFPPC. As I said earlier, the maximum grant for CFPPC is the first point which states 5 crore for one project. Again, 5 crore is 35% of eligible cost of the project for a general category, and 5 crore is 50% of eligible cost of a project for a SC/ST tribal northeast category. So as I mentioned, 35% is plant and machinery processing sheds. Non-civil works 0. If you see here, I mentioned 000 in the table, that point, because those are non-eligible that we can't consider. Only these two will be considered 35%. For a general SC/ST 50, Northeast Himalayas region 50. So to get a grant of 5 crore, example I'm just taking, I want to avail complete 5 crore from the government. How much can be my eligible cost then? So 35% is the amount of 5 crore. Then you can consider 14.3 crore roughly. I'm just telling, even if you show it as 15 CR also, it works. So 15 CR or 14.53 CR ka 35% you convert it, it will come mota mota almost 5 crore as a government grant. So this is for a general category. 14.3 crore conversion of 35% is 5 CR. And what can be the cost for SC/ST? Very simple. 50% उनको मिल रहा है तो 5 crore is a 50%. बाकी 50% another 5 crore हो गया. 10 crore के करीब project cost दिखा देते तो for SC/ST के लिए it will be around 10 CR. 10 CR of technical cost plus पकड़िए कि नॉन टेक्निकल एंड अदर कास्ट और 2-3 करोड़ हो जाएंगे. सो 13 करोड़ फॉर एन SC/ST कैटेगरी, 17 to 18 करोड़ फॉर एन जनरल कैटेगरी. उसमें 5 करोड़ गवर्नमेंट से मिलेगा, बाकी विल बी ऑन योर इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लस लोन. जैसे एग्रो प्रोसेसिंग क्लस्टर का भी मैं बोल रहा था, देयर इज a criteria that minimum 20% equity should be from the government side. Means 20% minimum investment from the promoter side. Sorry, प्रमोटर साइड से 20% इन्वेस्टमेंट होना ही चाहिए मिनिमम. 20 के ऊपर इट इज अप टू यू हाउ मच यू आर गोइंग टू इन्वेस्ट. 35% गवर्नमेंट से सपोर्ट मिलेंगे एज ए ग्रांट. सो 20% आप इन्वेस्ट करो, 35 गवर्नमेंट से मीन्स 55 हो गया. बाकी 45% विल कम थ्रू ए लोन. लोन प्रोवाइडिंग can be any banks, nationalized banks. We can approach. SBI is good in supporting for MOFPI. In few states we see NABARD banks, SIDBI loans, HDFC, ICICI, they are also supporting. और अगर आपका कुछ एग्जिस्टिंग बिजनेस चल रहे हो और आपके एग्जिस्टिंग बिजनेस एक बैंक में अच्छे से कनेक्शन है और वहाँ पर अच्छे से टर्नओवर हो रहे हो, तो सेम बैंक से हम वो भी अप्रोच कर सकते हैं कि लोन के लिए. So this is the major things for the scheme details or a grant assistant details for someone who want to set up individual food processing unit under CEFPPC scheme. Next. हाँ, coming to scoring criteria, जैसे I was telling in the first explanation itself, in the right side highlighted points, if you can see, minimum eligibility scoring criteria for general category application 60 marks. 60 marks we have to score if we are a general category. 45 marks we have to score if we are an SC/ST category. So this is the major criteria. How this 60 or 45 marks is achievable? Coming to this table, if you see, perishable products का हम processing unit लगा रहे हो. If we are doing any perishable products like fruits, vegetables, meat, milk, aqua, poultry, we will get maximum marks of 25. 60 में we are getting 25 here itself. We are going to some value addition products like consumer based products, कुछ RTE, RTC, breakfast products, cereal products, कुछ beverages, ऐसा कुछ consumer based products if we are doing, then you will get 20 marks, 60 में 20. If we are going for a non-perishable like essential oils, nutraceuticals, grains and pulses का कुछ flours and other thing, oils, rice bran oil हो जाएगा, rice mills, these and all, then our score will be 15 marks. So whatever the processing unit you select that you want to do this kind of processing unit, against that the marks will be differentiated 20, 25 and 15. So consider I am going for an consumer based products. So RTE I am going, so I have 20 marks in this first criteria. So in this eligibility of 60, I have got 20, then I left out with another 40 marks. Where can I get other 40 marks? Coming to the next point, the possession of the land means if I have a land with an industrial conversion, I will get 15 marks. Without an conversion, I'll get only 10 marks. Only have an agreement to acquire a land, lease agreement or rental agreement, then 5 marks. So consider I have a land with the industrial conversion, 15 ho gaya, 20 plus 15, 35 marks I'm already having in these 2 points where I can be eligible. Coming to third point, as I was clearly telling, the project cost of individual food processing unit. If it is above 15 CR, means you are claiming to government that my project cost is above 15 CR and I need maximum 5 crore of a grant. Then you will get 15 marks here. So full marks we will get. If it is between 8 to 15 CR, then you'll get a 10 marks. If it is below 8 crore, then you will get an 8 marks. This is one other point where the criteria is false created. So fourth major point I was telling also, it is net worth of an applicant. Someone who want to apply, or a company who want to apply for CFPP scheme, they should show a net worth of more than 2 times. If you are showing the net worth, means 5 crore is the grant we want, and we are showing it 10 crore as a net worth. It's a double the net worth. Then we will get 15 marks from the government. If we are showing 1.5 times, means 7.5 crore से 10 crore के बीच में हम अगर नेटवर्क दिखा रहे हैं तो आपको 10 मार्क्स मिलता है. If we are showing 1 time, then it will be 10 marks. लेसर नेटवर्क हम दिखा रहे हैं तो 10 marks. और यहाँ पर बहुत कम नेटवर्क दिखाने से भी we will be in a very 10 to 15% chances that we will get approval from the ministry. So better to arrange a good net worth to show it to the ministry. So how this can be arranged? So an promoter with his assets, जो भी इसका land हो, existing business का turnover हो, shares हो, this can be shown as if he is a single promoter, or you are a group of directors. You have 5 peoples in your company as a director. So combine 5 people's assets, 5 people's shares, whatever the documents they have. Combined net worth can also be shown here as a net worth certificate that you can discuss with your CA also, and you can show it. ये net worth for applicant हो गया for getting the grant amount. Second है one more thing they have mentioned, DSCR, where credit system के लिए बैंक लोन के assistance के लिए वो सब, if you are showing more than 3 crore, 3 crore so 3 times of the project cost, then you will be getting 15 marks for the showing the more than 3 times. यहाँ पर 2 times का equity था, यहाँ पर 3 times का. Then if you are showing from 2.5 to 3 times of your assets, then you'll get 12 marks. 1.5 to 2.5 is your 10 marks. So this is another criteria. So यहाँ पर I'm just picking up middle criteria. Consider the point number 120, यहाँ पर 10, 30, 40, 50 हो गया, 62. By point number 5, I have around 62 marks, which states that I am eligible as a general category, or if which states that I am completely eligible if I am in a SC/ST category. So then point number 6 is the strength of a promoters or strength of a group of directors or strength of a company where their background is into food processing, or their education background is into food, or their working or industrial background is only from the food processing. Then you will get 5 marks if you are having the education qualification and other things. Then the 7th point is existing turnover. If you are showing your turnover of an existing firms about 10 CR, then government is very much happy to provide you 10 marks for that one. Meaning between 5 crore to 10 crore, then 7 marks. Majorly not every applicant will be having this 10 CR. This can be neglected also. Means if we are meeting the criteria of 60 plus in the above 6 points, the last points is not much mandatory. But if you are showing, it will be a good advantage for you that you are going to get a good support and first sanction from the ministry for the maximum grant. So this is the evaluation criteria. This criteria falls same for even APC also, for individual processing units also. However, you want to do, this is the eligibility criteria: 60 marks for a general category and 45 marks for an SC/ST category. Next slide. So checklist. So to apply this scheme, obviously there are a lot of documentation work which need to be carried out apart from the work for a clients that land has to be converted. Apart from that, there are a lot of documents which ministry has asked or put a checklist that we need. These are the documents. One is online application that will be doable. Then we need to apply one non-refundable fees of 20,000 during the submission of expression of interest. Detailed project report, that is a complete report of what exactly you are planning to do. Then from the bank, जो भी आप loan लेने के लिए सोच रहे हो from the bank, we need to discuss with those bank and we need to take this one appraisal letter or appraisal report from the bank that we have got this application from this promoter and we have giving him an appraisal report like that, and एक in principle sanction letter from the bank for the term loan. ये दो चीज बैंक से हमें लेना पड़ेगा to submit to the ministry. And then KYC documents, MCA KYCs for all the company and corporation documents जो होता है, that one. If you're not an existing company, form a company and do this, obtain these all the documents. Along with this, Udyam Aadhar registration. And if you are an existing industry, then give the balance sheets or audit statements of last 2 years. CE certificates for our existing for our new project, we need to get a CE certificate for civil. Chartered engineer CE certificate means for civil and mechanical. Then net worth statement, as I told earlier, and project estimations, CA certified project estimations. If you are estimating my project cost is in around 13 to 14 crore, then it has to be CA certified with considering or verifying all the projections what we are getting, cash flows, सेल्स टर्नओवर, वो सब चीजें हमें सीए से सर्टिफाई करके अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. देन जुडिशियल नोटरी डॉक्यूमेंट एक लैंड का, इफ यू आर गोइंग फॉर ए लीज, मिनिमम 15 years का लीज अग्रीमेंट. And majorly all documents what we are submitting here, it has to be in English, not only the land, everything, all the documents. If he is a SCST promoter, give the certificate related to that one, quotations of all the machineries and other things, and expenses incurred के लिए CA certificate. Then biodata background of each and every promoters. नेटवर्क कैलकुलेशन के लिए जो भी आप नेटवर्क दिखा रहे हो, मेरे पास इतना लैंड, इतना शेयर है, उसके लिए सपोर्टिंग डॉक्यूमेंट्स हमें देना पड़ेगा. प्रोजेक्ट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन शेड्यूल, आप आफ्टर गेटिंग एन अप्रूवल फ्रॉम द मिनिस्ट्री, हमारा नेक्स्ट प्लान कैसा है, हाउ फास्ट वी विल गेट द लोन, हाउ फास्ट वी आर गोइंग टू implement this plan. ये details. Forward and backward linkages, if anything is there. और इसके साथ if you are connected with FPOs, Farmer Producer Association, you can get that certificate, that is added advantage. And other estimations, non technical estimations कितना हो रहा है, लैंड से का, सिविल का, वो सब क्या हो रहा है, वो estimations. So these are the major checklist what we required. Looks I think very huge list of checklist, but it is achievable in coming another 20 days if we have the land ready. That is the major thing. Land ka conversion ka criteria or timeline is taking very much time, but we have a clients where they have good connect with the local departments where they convert the land in within 10 to 15 days. So that is the one major criteria. Apart from that, as a solution buggy team, what we do, so we help you in application submission, we help you in preparing detailed project report, we will give you format for the banks to take the letters, we have all the formats. We help you in CE certificates of electrical and mechanicals, and CA certificate you need to do. Project financial estimation from CA, that we take care. लैंड का डिटेल्स ये क्लाइंट हैज टू टेक केयर. सो आई एम रिपीटिंग इट. आपकी तरफ से क्या क्या रेडी हो रखना चाहिए. वन इज द लैंड वन डिटेल्स, then company incorporation details, then you have to take the certificates of if you're SCST, those certificates you need to give to us. Audit financials you need to give it to us. Then coming to your background and details, if you give us, we will put it in the detailed project report. These are the major things. If you submit, baki काम you can leave it to solution buggy, where we will help you in assisting and preparing all these documentations and submission. Obviously we will take care of the documentation and application submission. Next one. So there are certain terms and conditions mentioned from the ministry. So in terms of a net worth, when we say, so general applications, like it should be 1.5 times for the grant, as I told earlier. These are the some basic condition. SCST, how much they have to show. So grant eligibility के लिए how much they are, what are the conditions they have to show. Eligible project cost. See, a general application project cost should be minimum 3 crore. Then unless see other application SCST or tribal or northeast, they have to show the project cost of minimum 1 crore. Land registration cost. So then all the scores, as I mentioned earlier, general के लिए 60 marks and SCST के लिए minimum 45 marks. Promoter equity, if you say, I keep on telling that you have to invest minimum 20% if you are an general category applicant. You have to invest minimum 10% of the total project cost if you are a SCST applicant. So unsecured loan not be a part of equity, so that is not considered. It should be a separate equity. Term loan also, minimum 20% you have to take a term loan for a general, minimum 10% for an SCST. Then balance sheet and other things. Background would be grant के लिए जो भी background हमें दिखाना है, that one we have to. Then implementation. Ministry has given a timeline. If you are going to submit your application, submit your expression of interest to ministry, and you will get a confirmation in another 30 days. Post your confirmation letter or post your sanction letter, you have 18 months time to set up your plant. Within 18 months, the plant has to set up. In 18 months, the grant amount which government is giving 5 crore. So it will be divided into two disbursement in 9 months. First 9 months में first disbursement, second 9 months में second disbursement. मतलब 2.5 crore, 2.5 crore it will be divided. So this is the major terms and conditions where ministry has given. Next. Yeah, before going to food processing unit, I'll just walk you through to what happens once you submit the application. Once you have all the documents ready, once you have a DPR, once you have a land documents, once you have a network certificate, once you have your background details, CA certificates, everything ready, before November 22nd, we will apply to the ministry. The application will be sent to the MOFPI under PMKSY. After November 22nd, in the next 30 days or 45 days is the time period where ministry will start verifying each and every applicants. And in next 30 to 45 days, or maybe sometime it will extend to 60 days, ministry will call for a 2 meetings to the promoters who all applied. The meetings are called as IMAC meeting, Internal Management Committee meeting, and TMC meeting, Technical Committee meeting. These 2 meetings, as a promoter, you have to attend and you have to present or display your project idea to the ministry panel people. Here, Solution Buggy team will be there, where we will assist on how to track these meetings, or we will be in support with you, sit with you to these meetings if the provision is there from the ministry, and we will assist you what to answer, what to convince, how to convince the panel team and all. These 2 meetings is the major things post application submission. You have to clear these 2 meetings. Once this 2 meeting is cleared, after that, in within 30 to 45 days, you will get a sanction letter from the ministry. This is the process once you submit the application. This is common or a same for CFPPC and APC both. So now coming to individual unit, which are the units we can set up as an individual food processing unit. So these are the complete list. If you can see, fruits and vegetable packos you can do, which is very easy if a good amount of fruits and vegetable is available. You can do it into processed one, ready to cook, cut fruit and vegetables. You can do quick freezing projects, fruit pulp, fruit juice, fruit concentrate, fruit puree, fruit powder unit, vacuum freeze dried, one of the leading trending business where you have very good export demand. Vegetable chips, which is very commonly and I can say chips is a very huge market in the global. Oleoresins, essential oils, a unique business idea which is having very good demand. Very consider this essential oils as a low volume but high value business. That is very good business. Nutraceuticals again, that is booming now post COVID. This is trending. Nutraceutical related products. Tomato value addition is all time. I can say all time trending business. Wherein all the tomato cultivation is huge. This is the best option for them. And lemon value addition also, lemon juice, citrus, any citrus fruits, lemon, orange and all, there is a good business. Pomegranate, we have some pomegranate cultivation area. This is also a very good business. Rice milling, flours, rice bran oils, edible oil projects are good options. Next slide. Fortification rice. So fortification is one of the recent trending business ideas. Extruded products and namkins, completely FMCG, B2B, B2C products, consumer-based products. Very, very demanded products. These are. It can be sold in small Kinara shops to big supermarkets. Chips also, this falls on the same category. Animal and cattle field is booming now because of certain criteria from the ministry. Any RTC, जैसे flakes, pastas, noodles, if you want to go for consumer based. Maize starch and citric acid, soybean extracts and protein isolates, anything falls under nutraceuticals, extracts and all. Very nice business to start. Dairy related one, ice cream, egg, meat processing, chicken, fish value added. So these are trending what I'm just giving you from the last 3-4 years, what we have seen very good growth and these things. But you can come up with your own idea if you are having some vision that I want to go with only this particular processing unit. We are just giving an example so that you can able to understand that okay, these are the food processing units that we can do. Apart from this, there are 100 more. I'm just displaying here major to make sure that you all will understand that okay, these things can be workable. So next slide. So fine. So this is where I'll end my explanation on both CFPPC and APC. Before we go for a Q&A, I think Rakesh will be presenting an audience question poll, how you want us to connect with Solution Buggy, how Solution Buggy team want to connect with you. These polls will be coming to, I think, your screen now. You can answer that poll. Then we'll start this Q&A session where I can pick the question and answers messages from the clients, and I can answer whatever the very critical questions or critical doubts you have. So I think I'll explain you those things post this Q&A. Rakesh, are we displaying this poll now?
Yes, yes, one by one. It's good.
So the presentation as will be shared to every participant. No need to worry. This PPT will be shared with you, which is having very useful information. Apart from this, I'll just walk through again. The scheme has opened in November this month. This is October, right? It is in open on October 20th. Actually, it was open on 8th or 9th of October, and it is been revised on 20th again. And the timeline is extended till November 22nd. So November 22nd तक हमारे पास टाइम है इस स्कीम, इस जो ग्रांट है 5 crore और 10 crore जो ग्रांट अवेल करना है, इसके लिए we have time till November 22nd. So practically, which takes more time, as I explained earlier, land conversion is the one thing which takes more time. Other things can be done within 10 to 15 days, but I don't know which like since I am sitting in Bangalore, Karnataka. Here, if we have to convert a land, minimum 20 days it will take. That is the SOP or process here. But we have clients from other states also, so where they are getting it converted within 10 to 15 days. Within 10 days also, we have seen a couple of our clients has converted. So please, if you are very serious to avail these loans, avail these subsidies and grants, make sure you be ready with your land documents, because other things are achievable in a faster way. Where land conversion is the one criteria, it will take very much time. So, Rakesh's poll is going on.
One more question is there.
Yeah.
We'll finish in 2 minutes.
Yes. Again, along with this PPT recording session, I think the team will provide it to all the participants. So one important thing which I don't confuse, that you have to return this grant amount to the government. No, that is not the criteria. This is the support what government is giving. If you are availing 5 crore grant from the government is giving it as a support for you to establish a unit. It is not refundable back to the government. It is completely one side assistance from the government. So it is a guaranteed amount which government is providing as a subsidy part. So to make sure we get that maximum 5 crore, we need to be very sure on preparing our documentation properly. So that is where Solution Buggy stands with our all the clients, that we make sure each and every documents prepared as per the ministerial norms, as per the ministry criteria. Then we submit the application, because we cannot simply put some numbers in the cost and submit the application for 18 crore, 20 crore and all, because ministry is having their own panel team, technical panel team basically, where they will be knowing each and every project's process, machineries, cost estimation. At least they know this project should fit in this budget. If we are giving very wrong numbers there, there are more chances the application gets rejected. That is where Solution Magi plays a major role, where we know all the criteria, norms and other things, and we assist clients that they should get a grant for whatever the application or we are submitting. As I said, I can see one more question. Minimum project cost for a general category, minimum 3 crore is the project cost, and for an SC/ST category, minimum 1 to 2 crore is the project cost. What as per the government norms. And if we are, see, consider if we are submitting a project cost of 3 crore, consider technical cost only of 3 crore. 3 crore ka 30%. Maybe almost 1 crore, up to 1 crore, 90 lakhs you will get as a grant from the government. Next questions. So warehouse and cold storage is included. Warehouse and cold storage is included for agro processing cluster, that falls under um basic and core infrastructure category. So it falls under that one. So next questions. Vegetable green peas. So anything sourcing a raw material within 100 kilometers and you're setting up an very good capacity plant, then it makes sense, very viable project. If you're saying that I'm going to set up very small unit, consider 1 ton per day kind of a small processing unit, and your raw material is coming from 75 to 80-kilometer place, then we need to see how the logistic works. It can't be much viable. But if you're going for a very ideal feasible capacity of a plant, 8 to 10 per ton per day plant of processing unit, and you're getting within 75 to 100 kilometers, you're getting the raw materials, then yeah, that can be an viable options to start. So once the grant amount is sanctioned, if you, for your project, if the grant amount is a sanction for 4 crore, so it is fixed that you will get a 4 crore in 2 installment within the period of 9 months. First installment, 9 months, second installment. There is no change in that one. So next, the cost of eligible items should be greater than 3 crore. So technical cost, what we show, that is only considered for the grant. So how much maximum we show technical cost, you can calculate in reverse thing. 35% of that one will be assistance from the government. See, anyone who applied or got, there is one question, if someone has already got some assistance from the MOFP, are they eligible? If you got some for assistance from the ministry for any other project, now you are going to set up a new unit, then obviously you are eligible again for the new unit. You are establishing one more unit from the MOFP assistance, then you are eligible to take that one as a grant. See, someone asked as OBC category. General OBC, everything falls under same. Only SCST, Northeast, Himalayas, tribal zone category falls under 50% grant. Apart from that, whatever the other category, everything falls under a general for 35% sanction. Someone asked for an minimum equity or minimum investment from the promoter side. As I said earlier, it should be 20% equity of for the total project cost from your end, minimum 20%. So you can invest 30% also, or you can invest 40% also, but minimum should be 20%. As I mentioned, to avail this grant, to submit application to the ministry, we have time till November 22nd. Post that, the application portal will be closed. It will be open again in the next year, 2024. Maybe this time it is opened in October. Next year, we don't think it will open till November or December. We need to wait for another 1 year for this scheme to open again. There are some rumors that scheme is going to extend for another 10-15 days and all, but it will be known to us also from our sources only on 19th or 20th of November or 21st November sometimes. That time only we'll get to know that it is going to extend. Unless until ministry puts some notification on their website, we can't assure that scheme is going to extend. So better, if you are really interested to set up an unit, be prepared now before November 15th with all the documents, so that we'll apply soon and get the grant soon. So any other questions? So Rakesh, any other queries you see here?
Yes, Nitin, we have got very good response today. Like most of the people are showing interest to start the application as soon as possible. So anybody, if having like wants to connect with Solution Buggy team, please reach out to us. Like our team will connect with you also for the same.
Okay. So I'm just going through once again for any of the unanswered questions. So DSCR, which I mentioned, is particularly for on debt service coverage ratio. Someone who want to avail loan and all, means you should have that much of net worth even or collaterals to show to the bank also. Then only they will also be in a good condition or good view that we can give a loan to this promoter. They will get a subsidy or a grant from the government also. So collaterals and other things is mandatory if we are going to approach any banks for a loans. That is where this DSCR stands for. To smaller projects less than one CR, no, it is completely ineligible cost. We can't avail any schemes for this one, this project cost. So anything above 3 CR for a general, above 1 CR for an SCST is the eligible thing for this. So PMFME, someone has asked for PMFME scheme. That is a completely different scheme. It doesn't fall under PMKSY. PMFM is a different one. I think my team will get in touch if you need assistance in PMFME. Currently, no, it is not much viable compared to MOFP and all. We don't have any bandwidth of 5 crore subsidies in PMFME. Only these things is having currently. If you are not having educational background, no need to worry for food processing. Other documents we make it ready proper so that you cross 60 marks. So then you will be easily eligible for getting the grant. So application submit होने के बाद आपको अप्रूवल और सैंक्शन लेटर मिलने के लिए 30-45 डेज लगेंगे. जैसे मैंने बता रहा था कि 2 मीटिंग्स रखेंगे मिनिस्ट्री ने. 2 मीटिंग्स कंप्लीट होने के बाद 30 डेज में आपको मिनिस्ट्री से सैंक्शन लेटर मिल जाता है. Any agriculture land, any plantation land, whatever the land you have, you need to convert it into industrial use or any that is mandatory. Any land, even if you are telling there is a residential plot and you have permission to set up an unit there, you can't set up in residential land. You need to convert that one also. But 90% residential land will not be used for industrial purpose. Agriculture lands can be used for industrial purpose. Dairy products, milk products can be considered for an industry MOFPS scheme. I think we covered most of the questions. Anything missed out, I think my team will contact each and every participants who are messaged us the queries here and who are very much interested. The team will get in touch with everyone. I once again thanks everyone for joining this session. Hope I have provided very useful information to all of you. And as I mentioned earlier, the recordings, the presentation, both will be shared to your registered mail IDs, maybe by end of the day. So anything further, if you are really interested and if you are really planning to avail these schemes and start something in F&B, beverages and nutraceuticals, please do respond to our team people immediately so that they will guide you, and I will be there to connect with you back again if you are very much interested to set up a food processing unit.
Yeah, Nitin, we do have one more question from one customer. He's asking what is the minimum equity percentage for food technology as a promoter?
See, as I said, 20% is the minimum equity from a promoter of total project cost. If your project cost is 10 CR, 10 CR is 20%. So 2 CR at least minimum you should invest. That is the minimum 20% equity from a promoter side. So more you invest, the loan amount will be very less. Your ROI will be less. Break even will be less. So that works vice versa.
So one person is having land in agro park. So is that will be eligible?
Yeah, that is not a problem if it is an industrial land and it is eligible.
Okay. So is there any experience required for the food processing project?
Experience is not an mandatory, as I shown in the presentation. That is one of the criteria where you will get some 10 to 7 marks, 7 to 10 marks. So if someone is not having some other criteria where his marks has come around 55, he is not able to reach 60, then this when experience, if he can provide that I am into a food background itself, I have experience in these things, then that will add 10 marks where he can cross the eligible marks to 65. That is an added thing. Not every promoter will have these experience marks. So that
One
is
more
not an issue.
question, one more question. Poultry feed plant project is eligible for this? Poultry feed plant.
Poultry feed, animal feed plant is eligible for this project.
subsidy on just expansions?
See, expansion into a new unit is eligible, but existing thing, if you want to apply, no, it is not eligible. Diversification and new unit is eligible.
Yeah, one more question from Manish Dharan. Like how Solution Buggy can assist to run the project.
See, as I'll just walk through again what Solution Buggy do. Solution Buggy as an complete project management consultancy firm, we undertake complete turnkey projects. So when I want to give more importance now on MOFPI, what we do, what we assist. I have shown you the complete checklist of the documents where there are around 20-25 checklist of the documents. So our work as a solution buggy starts with taking a requirement from a client, discussing with them, checking the location viability, and helping them in finalizing, okay, this is the best option for you to start the first step. Then the documentation work, the project reports, CE certificates, bank formats, all those things preparation will be done through solution buggy, and we will assist the client in getting the other documents from their side. One is the land, then is the net worth, then is the promoter backgrounds, all those things. Once all the documentation is ready, solution buggy team will apply or submit expression of interest to the ministry with all the documents properly as per the norms. We prepare it, we have all the norms and criterias. Then once it is applied, then once meeting is called for, the both the two meetings which I told, IMAC and technical committee meeting, we will assist and train our clients how to crack this meeting, how to answer the questions where the panel team is asked, and how to make sure that you have cleared the technicalities and concerns asked by the technical committee people, everything. Once that meeting is done, we will be in continuous follow-up with the ministry, where we will make sure you get the sanction letter. Once we have a sanction letter in hand, means we have got an approval from a ministry that you are eligible to set up a unit, and this is the grant what we are sanctioning you. You can start the further phase 2 activity. Phase 2 activity starts from getting a bank loan approval, disbursement, bank loan disbursement. Once bank loan is disbursement is done, once your equity is also invested, then we submit our documents to the ministry stating that we are ready to start the site development and other activity. This is what our first part of the investment is. Then ministry side, they will check all the details and they will release the grant amount. We will do the licensing part. The phase 2 solution may as a execution team, where we do complete execution of a plan starting from site development, then the constructions, machinery selections, all the things. We assist the client till the we start the commercial production. We assist in training the manpowers, training the operators, labors, everything, generating, creating the complete SOP, installation, commissioning, trial runs, handing over the running plan to the client. This is where end to end we do. We have a third team where they also help the clients on the sales and marketing part, depend on what product they are going to choose, whether it is a B2B or B2C. Depending on that, we'll prepare a strategy plan, how to target the industries or a consumers. So this is where end-to-end assistance we provide for MOFP PMSKY scheme.
So one more question from Mr. Anand. His budget is to invest for 3 CR, and asking like what I can get subsidy amount I can get being scheduled like cash.
See, 3 CR, if his budget means if self investment of his is 3 CR, then consider project cost can be around 9 to 10 crore. So technical cost roughly 8 crore. If we consider 8 crores of 35% can be his grant amount, technical cost. So around 2.5 to 2.8 crore he can get a grant from the government if he is investing around 3 crore.
Great.
Okay.
So I think we have answered most of the queries. I'll request to all
Right.
participate to if any more question they do have, please do connect with Solution Buggy. our technical team will clarify your all questions, all doubts, how we can process your application like for this scheme. Our team will connect with you for this scheme also.
Right. Once again, thanks everyone for joining, and hope this session is useful for you all. And any clients who are interested, we will get back in touch in directly face to face or in the virtual meetings. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Nathan.